Then decided and about 10 that they are in fact going to show to turn up there, in fact violating the same order they have gone to.
And later on, mobile phone users unhappy with unsolicited text messages from politicians ahead of the general elections, describing the phenomenon as a data breach. Details of these stories and many more, including sports, all coming up in the next 30 minutes. Stay tuned in.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
You're welcome once again to the Starr Midday News on Starr 103.5 FM. My name is Dedei. Tettey. We'll start off with issues relating to the energy sector, especially on the back of the letter written by the PRC to the presidency. Well, former Power Minister Dr. Kwabena Donkor has questioned the timing of the PRC's SOS letter about the pending insolvency of ECG to government. The pro-East MP argues that although the concerns raised by the utility regulator are valid, nothing significant can be done less than 3 months to the elections. He spoke on the Morning Star.
The over-politicization of issues with the ECG has also not helped. ECG is registered as a limited liability company, but corporate governance, financial management has been more of politics. We are back 8 years late, and so the situation has deteriorated. However, my issue today has to do with the timing. Yes, PURC as one of the two regulators and as the economic regulator, it is right for them to draw attention of government and of stakeholders to the pending insolvency of ECG if things continue on this trajectory. However, there is also the issue of timing. ECG needs major structural reform. That cannot be done in a transition period as we are in. So yes, it is important they've drawn attention of government, drawn attention of stakeholders to the potential insolvency of ECG. However, we can't do much until after January.
Dr. Donkor also blamed excessive politicization in ECG for the current woes of the power distribution company.
The over-politicization of issues with the ECG has also not helped. ECG is registered as a limited liability company, but corporate governance, financial management has been more of political gearing than pure business. Issues of ECG have been too politicized by the management of ECG itself. So that is another angle. Then, of course, there's a structural problem of ECG, underfunding, inadequate investment, inadequate inflows. And it was precisely for this reason that former President Mahama in his time engaged the Millennium Challenge Corporation to pump some liquidity into ECG, particularly into retooling. Unfortunately, the Ghanaian state messed that up with the PDS debacle. And so the situation just moved from bad to worse.
You had the former Power Minister, Dr. Kwabena Donko. To another raging issue, this one has to do with the illegal mining menace and demands being made of government to take action. Well, organized labor is urging political parties to sign a pact aimed at banning illegal mining. They believe this initiative will foster a coordinated effort to tackle the environmental, social, and economic consequences of such activities. Now, by uniting behind this cause, the aim is to create a comprehensive strategy that protects communities and natural resources while promoting sustainable practices in the mining sector. Now, this collaborative approach could strengthen regulations and enforcement, ensuring a more responsible management of mineral resources. Now, Public Relations Officer in charge of the anti-Galamsey campaign at the Trade Union Congress, Na Ayele Adefio Sechere, spoke to Starr News.
I mean, it doesn't matter which political party is in power. I think we must all agree as Ghanaians that we want our environment preserved, our water bodies healthy for drinking and for any other chores that we want to use the water bodies, and our forest reserves preserved, because these are essential for our existence. So it doesn't matter which political party is in power. They must all append their signature to an agreement, a consensus that we come to as a country, so that it's not as if this political party is in power today and will do so much, and then the next time another political party comes to power and does something else. So that's basically what organized labor is looking at.
You heard there the Public Relations Officer in charge of the anti-Galamsey campaign at the Trade Union Congress, Na Ayele Adefio Sechere, who had earlier billed to speak to the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, on what they make of the proposal by the TUC. As and when we are able to raise him on the telephone line, we will bring that conversation to you. This is still the Starr Midday News on Starr 103.5 FM. Let's switch our attention still on illegal mining. This time around, Pressure Group Democracy Hub, they are making demands of government as well. Pressure Group Democracy Hub says the Ghana Police Service has not officially communicated with them its latest decision to provide security during the upcoming 3-day protest. Now, the group has, while expressing surprise over what they say are obstructive measures by the police to impede a demonstration, say they are unperturbed about any decision from the police. Now, speaking to GH1 and Starr News on the reason behind the protests, constitutional rights and policy strategy advisor for Democracy Hub, Oliver Baka-Vomawo, accused the MPP government of being behind the Galamsey activities.
His cronies and his political appointees are the main people who are doing it. So it was a nation capture, a nation disruption agenda that they have. The Fourth State has just done a report which shows that most of the networks connected to illegal and irresponsible mining are politically exposed persons who are connected to this regime. So they took that message as their license to destroy our environment, not other people.
The police have not engaged us in any way. We are discovering a lot of these things online. We heard about an injunction in the radio. We've seen a police statement on social media.
Now, Oliver questioned the actions of the police following a prohibition order the service earlier secured to stop the protests, and that has now made a U-turn, indicating that the service is ready to provide them security.
You know, the law says that we should inform the police at least 5 days to the protest. What we did is that we informed the police at least 3 months to the protest.
3 months?
3 months. And the reason why we did that, one is that we should give them the chance to prepare and prioritize the protest. And this is what we have consistently done. And then they waited 2 days to the protest to go and secure an injunction. After 2 months, they wrote to us asking us to change the date and where we wanted to do it. And we said, no, we're not going to do that, as the law entitles us to do. And so we didn't hear back from them again. So apparently we heard on radio that they said they had gone to secure a court order. We ourselves have not been served with a court order.
You haven't been served.
So we've heard it on radio, we don't know it. And then subsequently, they have issued a statement that, in fact, they are going to show up and they are going to respect the Public Order Act by putting in place processes for the planned demonstration this weekend. And then they have indicated that they will release security arrangements today by that same press statement. Now, this is what should be clear. When we heard the news yesterday, our position was clear across board that with or without injunction, we are stepping out.
You are going to
because
go?
we don't have a commitment to respect unconstitutional injunctions. It has been said time and time again, in fact, we have gone on to the Supreme Court on this, that no court is entitled to issue an ex parte injunction to stop a protest. And so ab initio, anything that violates the Constitution is void as it stands. So even if one existed, we are going to go ahead and do it. The humorous thing is that those who have gone to procure for themselves an injunction are then, and they have a copy, we haven't been served at least, have then decided and about 10 that they are in fact going to show to turn up there, in fact violating the same order they have gone to. Perhaps after the protest, we'll then take them on for contempt. But now, we are clear, whatever the case may be, that we're going to show up at the protest, whatever they do. And that if the only thing they have is arrest, so be it. But the point must be made that we are showing up and turning up for a protest. And if they have had a change of heart about it, I hope that they're able to secure for their own sake a cancellation of that invalid order as well at the same time.
You heard there the Oliver Baka-Vomawo. He's a constitutional rights and policy strategy advisor for Democracy Hub. Well, at the moment, the Ghana Police Service is addressing the press in relation to the upcoming protest by Democracy Hub. As you did hear me earlier say, the police had initially secured a prohibition order. A subsequent statement on their page did say that they were ready to provide security for the protest, and we're going to provide further updates today, which they are doing at the moment. We'll bring you excerpts of that address in the course of the bulletin, but what I understand is that they one of the things the police is saying is that they did not impede the protests in any way. You're still listening to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Let's switch our attention to issues relating to the courts. Has to do with the O'Reilly Senior High School incident there. Well, the district court at La has ordered the police prosecutors to furnish the court with hospital report indicating the age of the final year senior high school students of O'Reilly Senior High School accused of killing another student. Now, this was after the prosecution led by the Chief Inspector Paul Osei Ejay, while holding brief for the substantive prosecutor, indicated to the court that steps have been taken and the report is set to be ready on Friday, September 20. Now, Edward Bokete Saki was stabbed to death by a classmate after a disagreement over who had wealthier parents. Let's speak to our legal affairs correspondent, Mutala Inusa, for more on this. Mutala.
Hello.
Yes, Mutala. So from what we understand at the moment, the report will be ready by tomorrow?
Well, Chief Inspector Paul Osei Ejay indicated to the court that samples of the blood of the accused person have been taken by the police hospital, and the hope is that tomorrow the report will be ready. For that matter, they were seeking for a week adjournment, for which reason the magistrate, Her Worship Adjoa Benaso Asumadu Tettey, wondered why 2 weeks was not enough and they will have to add 1 more week. If they are saying that the report should be ready, will be ready tomorrow, then the case should be adjourned to tomorrow, because the court is of the considered view that this is a case of public interest, and a case of public interest, the police must act with so much expedition. And so for that matter, the court is unable to grant that 1 week request. What the court is saying is that tomorrow at 1 p.m., the case will be called, and before the case is called, the police should ensure that the report, which is indicating the age, in fact, the age of the accused person is in controversy, and the report is supposed to put finality as to whether the accused person herein is above 18 years or below 18 years. So yes, the court presided over by Adjoa Benaso Asumadu Tettey, the magistrate, said that tomorrow the case will be called, and they turned down the request from the police prosecution.
All right. So, Mutala, why is the age so crucial?
What it is now is I noticed that the provisional charge on the charge sheet is murder, and with the accused person is committed a crime of such nature, and the age comes to controversy, which the people are saying that he's underage. It means that it has to go to the juvenile court for the case to be dealt with if the accused person or the accused person, I must say, is a minor. But if it's established that he is not a minor, then it means the district court will have the opportunity to assess it. And if the case docket go to the attorney general, and the attorney general find out the fact that the investigation conducted and the evidence available support the charge, then that will mean that the court will continue to commit the accused person for trial at the High Court. So that is how come the issue of the age has become very relevant in this matter.
All right, thank you very much. Mutala Inusa is legal affairs correspondent. Meanwhile, the father of the deceased has also been speaking. He has accused the police of not playing a fair game with his family. He said, should that continue, there will be no good news to hear. Well, he spoke after today's court sitting.
Concerning the age of the boy, and then the prosecutor said it has been already checked at the hospital, so they'll get a report probably today or tomorrow. So the court has adjourned to tomorrow, 1 o'clock. But the whole thing that is happening here, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it because I can see they are not playing fair game with the family. And then if they try to do this, I don't think we'll hear good news because justice must be done. All that we're fighting for is justice. Not that somebody have murdered my son and I'm trying to fight for justice. And then the police, I don't know what is happening. So we will wait for tomorrow and see the next thing that will come out. Every student, when you go into school, I think the school authorities will ask for age. Your age is on your how do you call it? Your everything. The school surely know your age. So I don't think age should be a problem here, or age should be a thing that we should struggle for. Because my son, I have his birth cert. The school have all information concerning my son. So why now they are trying to talk about age? Me, I'm not getting it.
You had the father of the deceased. You're still listening to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Now let's go to that earlier story in relation to the address being delivered by the Ghana Police Service in connection with the upcoming protests by Democracy Hub. Well, the Ghana Police Service, they are refuting claims of scheming to prevent Democracy Hub from staging their anti-Galamsey demonstration. Chief Superintendent Grace Ansah is the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, and she has been addressing the press.
Public defense, public safety, and public health. As a result, in the interest of public defense, public order, public safety, and the running of essential services, the police engaged the organizers, that is the Democracy Hub, to reconsider the location to a different place. However, the organizers refused to reconsider their proposed location and insisted that they will hold the protest at the Revolution Square in front of the Jubilee House. As a result, police was compelled to go to the court for a determination on the matter, that is the location for the proposed demonstration. Provide security for the demonstration at an agreed location. We wish to emphasize that the Ghana Police Service has not stopped Democracy Hub from embarking on a demonstration from 21st to 23rd September as is going around.
So you had there the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Grace Ansah Akrofi, addressing the press. They say they have not stopped the protest, but then again, they do not want the protesters to converge at the Revolution Square, which is right opposite the Jubilee House. This is still the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Shortly, we'll bring you the very latest in the world of sports. But before that, technical advisor to the Finance Minister, Abdul Ganiu, has downplayed comments by Ghanaian-American comedian Michael Blackson over what he describes as thefts by government of his $1 million Eurobond investment. According to the technical advisor, every investment has a risk, and he expects Mr. Blackson to know better, especially since he's from America.
Investment decisions and whatever the outcomes are, we have to understand that they come with some form of risks. I mean, Ghana will not be the only country, or if you want an investment house, for example, where you put in your money and at some point you lose, at some point you gain, that sort of thing. It's quite normal so as far as investment decisions and the outcomes is concerned. As I said earlier, it is not good for anyone to think that I should be raking in returns, but at some point it turn out to be losses. But investment generally comes with that. So he is coming from America, and I know, obviously, he should tell us. Some other investments in America, at some point, they do go bad as well. So that's the situation. But we agree that it comes with difficulties. And Ghana has gone about it in such a way that whatever the challenges or whatever the difficulties are, they are quite minimal. Still means that generally people have their investments. They have not totally lost. It's just the returns going forward that would have reduced quite significantly. But like I said, these are investment decisions, and sometimes they do happen. I mean, it could happen once in a blue moon, and unfortunately, they are the ones who have been caught in this particular situation.
Now, Dr. Abudu also revealed that the country will exceed the growth target set for 2024. He believes this is due to the consistent effort of the government in stabilizing the macroeconomy.
Our growth target for even 2024 was supposed to be 2.8%. But as we speak, we have had to revise that together with the IMF and all our development partners for about 3%. So if in the second quarter we are already doing 6.9%, I have no doubt that by end of the year, we certainly would have gone beyond what we have targeted for 2024, so as far as growth of our economy is concerned. So if we have been this consistent over the period, it only proves that indeed the economy has turned a corner. I mean, we all knew the difficulties that we went through in 2019, 2020, and up to about 2022. So during COVID and then the aftermath of COVID, where our economy really reeled, but by 2023, and we succeeded in bringing down inflation to about 35% by the year of 2020. And as you are aware, aside from the growth figures that are looking so positive, inflation has trended downwards since April of 2024.
You had the technical advisor for the Minister of Finance, Dr. Abdul Ganiyu, speaking on the Morning Star. Time now to bring you the very latest in the world of sports. And Jones Aji is here. Good afternoon to you, Jones. What's in sports?
Good afternoon. So we start off from the Black Stars of Ghana, who have actually dropped 6 places in the recent FIFA World Rankings. Now, Ghana, who previously occupied the 64th position on the global rankings, have now dropped to the 70th position on the log following poor showings in their recent games in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Angola and Niger. Now, Georgia, Burkina Faso, United Arab Emirates, and Albania, Cape Verde, and Burkina Faso are the countries to have moved above Ghana in the global rankings. The Black Stars have also dropped 2 places on the continental rankings as well. They now occupy the 14th spot, with Burkina Faso and Cape Verde climbing above them. In the CAF rankings, Morocco have now moved to the top, with Senegal dropping to second. Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire, and then Tunisia complete the top 5 in Africa. Now to the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal will travel to Italy to face UEFA Europa League champions Atalanta this evening. Coach of the Gunners, Mikel Arteta, believes that the Champions League's new format is exciting and is not worried about playing on a Thursday night before meeting City on Sunday.
Well, it's different. So here we are playing on a Thursday night in Champions League, which is different, but really happy, motivated, very enthusiastic. First game, a really tough place to come. They built something amazing here, and it was a beautiful story what they achieved last season. But for us as well, it's a new season, and we really want to kick on the right way.
Does it give you a disadvantage, though? Because, you know, it's quite out of the ordinary, isn't it, for Thursday? And then you're going to Man City for such a key game on Sunday. They're playing tonight at home. Does that affect?
Hopefully not. Hopefully we have so much energy for what happened on Sunday as well. It was great. We have recovered a few players, which is very important for us as well. And we play a competition that we absolutely love tomorrow. So we look at the positives. Yeah, after a recent scan, the scan showed there's got some damage, especially in one of the ligaments in the ankle. So we're going to miss him, yeah.
All right, now for sports, my name is Jones Aji.
Thank you very much, Jones, bringing us the very latest in the world of sports. Now, some mobile phone users are unhappy with unsolicited messages from politicians ahead of the December polls. Now, voters have been receiving text messages from political actors on the campaign trail, a situation they consider as a data breach on the part of the service providers. Now, some aggrieved mobile phone users on the streets of Accra have been speaking to Starr News.
I got a normal message on my phone from one of the political parties that I can't mention right now. I got a message saying I should vote for someone, but I have doubts as to how they got my number. How did they get my number? Because it's not easy to access someone's contact. I don't understand. If they got my number, then they can even have access to my Momo pin. It's not right, so something must be done about it.
I think they've breached our privacy because who gave them our numbers, who gave the numbers out? Number one. Number two, did they ask my permission before giving the number? So I need a lawyer to step in because you can't buy my vote, you can't buy my conscience. They should have done a needful. So now that you election and you are trying to, when the youth were crying, when we were crying for a job, did you listen to us? I'm not communicating. So now election, you are telling that you are thanking for participating in your campaign. Well, did you see me? Do you even know me? I think enough is enough. Thank you.
So I believe you're in the digital world now, and I think since they can't go to all the ghettos or all the canals in the country, they can reach us through this means as well. But others might not be comfortable with that, as it's due to cyber security threats and all those stuff. But that's why I said previously that it's based on individual interests. But I don't have any issue with that. But others might have their opinion on that too. I mean, thank you.
Meanwhile, President of the Ghana Internet Service Providers Association, Michael Infojo, says the association will investigate the problem. He spoke at the Ghana Internet Conference.
As has been discussed in this conference, data for individuals are supposed to be protected, and there is law that governs how data is kept. And so if an organization takes data from you or gets information on you, which is personal data, they are supposed to protect that data and not give it out to a third party. And before any organization will give out your data to any third party, your consent is needed before that is done. And I've also heard about people receiving some SMS which is strange to them, and they were wondering how the senders of this SMS got to know their personal details, and for which they are sending them such SMS. And some of them even describing the constituency in which they are for some invitations. I think this is not right, and I think that the Data Protection Commission is supposed to be informed. I will let them be aware about what is happening and see how they will be able to step in and to find out which organization is the one giving out people's personal data.
You heard the president of the Ghana Internet Service Providers Association speaking on the sidelines of this year's Ghana Internet Conference. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. For more news, do log on to starfm.com.gh. My name is Dedei. Thank you very much for your company. Have a good afternoon.